Have you ever found yourself in a conversation with a married woman and something just felt off? Not inappropriate, not obvious, but something about the way she looked at you, the way she leaned in when you spoke, the questions she asked, the ones that lingered just a little longer than casual, should allow you, told yourself it's nothing. She's just being friendly, but deep down, something didn't sit right. Let me tell you a hard truth. Most men don't talk about, and even fewer truly understand. Married women can feel attraction, they can crave attention, they can feel emotionally disconnected from their husbands. And suddenly you show up, and not because you tried, not because you flirted, not because you wanted to cross a line, but because without knowing it, you brought something her life had been starving for: presence, strength, depth, and quiet masculine power. And while she might never say it out loud, she'll show you. But not in the ways you think. It's not about blatant seduction. It's not about romantic words. It's about subtle, nearly invisible signals. The thing she does when she thinks you're not paying attention, the way she watches you when you speak to other women, the way her energy shifts when it's just the two of you. Most men ignore these signs. Some get blindsided by them. And a few, the rare, emotionally intelligent few, notice them early and respond not with impulse, but with stoic awareness. So here's the brutal truth. If a married woman is showing these 4 specific signs, it doesn't mean she's evil or unfaithful or even disloyal. It means she's human, and something inside her started to wake up around you. But before you jump to conclusions or act on emotion, you need to know the difference between innocent connection and quiet burning attraction. Because one of them will pass, and the other will pull you into emotional quicksand. You may never escape. So pay close attention, my friend, because the signs I'm about to reveal aren't just subtle. They're psychological, behavioral, and deeply instinctual. Let's begin. Attraction isn't always loud. It doesn't always shout. It doesn't come with flashing lights, obvious words, or romantic gestures you'd find in a movie. Sometimes attraction is a whisper, a glance, a pause, a seemingly harmless moment that holds the weight of something deeper, something unspoken, something forbidden. And when that attraction is coming from a woman who's already married, everything changes. Now, before we go further, this isn't a judgment. This isn't about moral lines or condemning anyone's choices. This is about awareness, because if you're a man who carries masculine presence, who lives with quiet confidence, who listens with intensity and speaks with clarity, then you've likely had this happen to you. Whether you knew it or not, you've been around a married woman who lingered. She looked at you a little too long, laughed a little too loudly, found ways to talk to you when she didn't really have a reason, and you told yourself, no, that can't be. She's married, it's all in my head. But your gut said otherwise, and your gut is rarely wrong. The truth is, many married women, especially those in emotionally dry or mentally disconnected relationships, are still searching, not necessarily for a new man, but for a feeling, that spark, that moment of being seen, again, heard again, desired again. They're not always looking to cheat. In fact, most aren't. But what they are doing is responding to masculine energy that feels alive, and maybe even a little dangerous, because it reminds them of something they lost or something they never had to begin with. So when you, the grounded stoic man, calm present, emotionally intelligent, walk into the room, you don't need to flirt, you don't need to say much. Your presence alone changes the temperature in her nervous system. And while she may not act on it, her body, her expressions, her words, and her micro behaviors may say things she'll never admit. That's what this video is about. Not fantasy, not seduction, not disrespect, but awareness. Because being a high-value man isn't just about attracting women. It's about reading situations with wisdom and knowing when something's no longer innocent. So if you've ever felt that invisible tension with a married woman, if you've ever second-guessed yourself, if you've ever wondered, did she just flirt with me, but didn't know what to make of it, then this message is for you. Today, we're revealing the 4 subtle signs, a married woman may be secretly attracted to you. Signs most men overlook, but high-value men notice immediately. And by the end of this video, you won't just know what to look for, you'll know what to do about it. Let's dive in. Sign number 1. She mirrors you without realizing it. One of the most overlooked yet telling signs of hidden attraction is unconscious mirroring. Let me explain. You're in a casual setting, maybe work, a cafe, a group gathering, and you start to notice that every time you adjust your posture, she subtly does the same. You cross your arms. Moments later, she does too. You lean in slightly, she mirrors that movement. This isn't coincidence, it's not mimicry. It's a primal behavioral response rooted deep in our psychology. Psychologists call it the chameleon effect. It's what we naturally do when we're subconsciously trying to build rapport or feel closer to someone. But here's where it gets interesting. Married women who are emotionally committed don't typically do this with other men unless there's an internal conflict, an unacknowledged spark they're trying to suppress or understand. When a married woman starts mirroring your body language, tone, energy, or even your choice of words, it's not about manipulation. It's a silent confession. Her subconscious is reaching out, echoing your presence, because part of her wants to feel closer, even if she knows she shouldn't. A high-value man doesn't jump to conclusions. He notices, reflects, and respects the situation, but he doesn't ignore it. Mirroring is the beginning of emotional entanglement, and that awareness is power. Sign number 2. She shares personal, emotionally intimate details with you. This is where the line gets blurry, when a woman who is married begins to open up to you in a way that feels deeper than it should. That's not just trust, that's emotional vulnerability, and it's rarely random. She starts telling you about her childhood dreams, her struggles, her fears, maybe even things about her husband, complaints masked as jokes, frustrations disguised as passing comments. She doesn't just talk to you, she confides in you. Why? Because emotional affairs often begin before physical ones do. If she starts turning to you for emotional comfort or validation, especially if she says things like, "I can talk to you about things I can't even tell my husband," that's not neutral. That's a boundary being tested. Whether she realizes it or not, she's shifting her emotional loyalty. Here's what you need to know. As a man grounded in Stoic discipline, you are not obligated to carry the emotional burdens she won't bring to her own relationship. You can listen. You should be respectful, but you must not mistake emotional intimacy for mere friendship. If she's crossing that line, even slowly, it's because she feels something more than just casual affection. High-value men don't exploit that moment, but they're wise enough not to deny what it means. Sign number 3. Her body language is inconsistent, but intentional. Now, this one's tricky when a married woman is attracted to someone she shouldn't be. Her body betrays her before her words ever will. You'll see contradiction one day. She might act distant, cool, almost cold, like she's guarding herself the next day. She's warm, smiling too long, brushing your arm accidentally, laughing a little too loudly at your joke. This isn't confusion. This is internal conflict, leaking out through physical signals. She's trying to maintain boundaries and test them at the same time. Watch for these subtle gestures. Eye contact that holds too long and then suddenly breaks, as if she realized she went too far. Nervous fidgeting when you walk in, subtle adjustments to her clothes or posture when you're near glancing at you when she thinks you're not looking and quickly looking away. When caught attraction under tension often creates erratic body language. Not because she's unsure of you, but because she's unsure of herself. The more she fidgets, the more she overcorrects, the more you know something unspoken is unfolding beneath the surface. A Stoic man notices without reacting. Emotionally, he remains grounded, observant and immovable. He sees what most men miss and controls what weaker men would chase. Sign number 4. She tests your emotional availability without admitting it. This is perhaps the most subtle but the most revealing of all signs. when a married woman is silently attracted to you. She won't come out and confess it. She may not even fully admit it to herself, but she'll test your interest by dropping little hooks, little invitations for you to show your cards. She might say, "You must be a heartbreaker, aren't you? I bet girls throw themselves at you all the time. I wish my husband noticed things like that." Now listen carefully. These aren't random comments. They're probes, they're soft, deniable tests to see how you respond. If you flirt back, she'll know it's safe to open the door wider. If you stay emotionally steady and offer no return energy, she'll likely retreat, not out of shame, but because she respects the boundary you silently established. Why does she do this? Because attraction needs oxygen, and these little statements, teasing, sarcastic, flattering, or playful, are her way of feeding that spark without lighting a fire. This is where your inner masculine control matters more than ever, because whether you respond or stay composed, your reaction will define the trajectory of the connection. Remember, you don't need to pursue what you already attract that stoic power. Now that we've peeled back the layers, let's be brutally honest. Not every smile is just politeness. Not every compliment is harmless, and not every connection is innocent. Sometimes the lines blur. Sometimes a married woman does feel an unexpected pull toward another man. And sometimes that man is, you didn't chase it, you didn't provoke it. But there it is, staring at you in the way she looks, hiding in the way she talks, slipping through every accidental touch or lingering gaze. So what do? You notice, you observe, you see through the noise, because the difference between a low-value man and a man of stoic strength is simple. The weak man reacts to attention like a thirsty child in a desert. The high-value man recognizes the power of restraint. He understands that just because someone is drawn to him doesn't mean he has to accept it. He doesn't confuse attention for affection or attraction for alignment. He doesn't mistake validation for value. You've now seen the four most subtle yet powerful signs of hidden attraction from a married woman mirroring without awareness. Emotional intimacy beyond friendship body language that reveals more than words ever could, testing your emotional availability through small flirty jabs. But knowing the signs isn't just about decoding attraction. It's about understanding yourself. Will you get pulled into her emotional confusion, or will you stand tall, unshaken as a man who knows that true power comes not from taking every opportunity, but from choosing which ones are beneath you? Because the greatest proof of masculine strength is the ability to walk away from what most men would chase. If you've ever been in a situation like this, if you've ever felt that quiet tension between yourself and a woman who wasn't fully available, I want you to drop one word in the comments. Aware, not ashamed, not reactive, not proud, just aware, because that's the path of the Stoic observation. Without judgment, control, without coldness, depth, without drama. If this video gave you clarity, if it helped you recognize your power, your value, and your boundaries, then it's time to go deeper. Subscribe to Stoic Paradox right now and tap the bell icon, because what we do here isn't just about dating. It's about developing unshakable masculine strength in a world that tries to shake you at every turn. And if you're ready to master the inner game, not just with women, but in life, then stick around, because every video, every lesson, and every truth we share here is a step toward becoming the man you were meant to be. Attraction is not wrong. It's not evil, but it is dangerous when you don't respect the fire you're playing with. There will be moments in your life when temptation wears a pretty smile and a wedding ring. But that moment right there is where you define your legacy. Will you be just another guy who fell for the thrill, or the man she never forgot? Because you were the one who didn't fall. Be that man, not for her, not even for your pride, but for the code. You live by the Stoic paradox. Because real strength isn't found in how many women want you. It's found in how few can move you. And that is the paradox of the truly powerful man. Until next time, stay grounded, stay sharp, stay stoic, paradox.